In 5, 4, 3, 2. Standby 71. Roll up sound 71 on the open. Up on it. We'll dissolve 64
Now,
Gulfston X with
the
A.
issues facing California.
Homelessness, the economy.
Serious climate change challenges.
We're back in about 30.
The politicians are mucking it up.
This crisis exceeds the current governor's ability to deal with it.
We shouldn't have career politicians in
Back in
politics.
20.
I think the most important job of our next
64
governor is to
Gulfston
make
with
it
A.
less
We'll then take a
important
VO
who the
72
governor
with
is.
B.
Tonight, information voters across California need.
Hey, Gulfston
to
10
make
away.
informed
Preset
decisions.
64. Standby Gulfston's Mike. Here we go.
Live from California's capital,
In
KCRA
5.
and the San Francisco Chronicle
preset
present
64. Standby
the
Gulfston.
California
And
recall debate.
Mike, go. Push, dissolve.
evening and welcome. I'm
72
Gulfston
VO
Gar. Right
with
now,
B.
voters
Ready
across
it?
California
Roll
are
72.
deciding two
Take. Read your
questions.
card and thank you.
First,
Hold
should
on
Governor
64.
Gavin Newsom be recalled? And
Back to
second,
64
if he
next,
is
no
recalled,
font. Oh,
who
with
should
B,
replace
actually.
him? Which is why we are here
Take.
tonight. We invited Governor Newsom
62
and 6
side
leading
panel,
candidates
Kylie next.
looking to replace him.
Already
The
61,
governor's
sorry.
campaign
Already
said that he's not
61.
taking part in debates.
With B.
Larry Elder and Caitlyn Jenner said
Start
that
to
they
remove
will
61.
only debate the
Take
governor.
61. Nope, side
Tonight,
panel.
We're joined by 4 candidates who did accept.
62
Kevin
side
Kiley
panel
is a
next.
Republican. He
Dissolve to it.
graduated valedictorian from
Side
Granite
panel.
Bay High School.
61
He's
side
currently a
panel
member of
next.
the State Assembly representing the 6th
61.
District. Kevin
Paffrath.
is a Democrat.
61
He appears
Paffrath.
on the
Tighter,
ballot
please.
as a
Tighter, please.
financial
Go in.
educator
Take.
analyst, and he may be
62
better known
Falconer.
by his YouTube channel, Meet Kevin. He has also worked as a real estate
And
broker.
take.
Kevin Falconer
61
is a Republican.
Cox.
He appears on the ballot as a businessman and an educator. He's a former city council member
Ready, 61.
and mayor of San
And
Diego.
take.
And John Cox is a Republican.
64
He
next
appears on
with
the ballot
B.
as a businessman,
64 with
accountant,
B.
and father.
Stand
He
by
ran
the
for
QR
governor in
code.
2018 and lost to Gavin Newsom.
Take 64.
Those are
Insert the QR
candidates.
code at your
Now to the
convenience.
questions, and we
63
wanna hear from
two-shot
you,
with
so
B.
scan the QR
B
code
stays
you see
in
on your
now.
screen to send us
QR
questions
code in.
for the candidates. Our moderators tonight are Alexi Koseff,
And
San Francisco
take 63.
Chronicle Capital correspondent.
Go ahead and fade the cart down.
KCRA 3's
62
Deirdre
Falconer,
Fitzpatrick.
please. 62
And based on
Falconer.
a random drawing, our first question goes to Kevin Falconer.
And
Deirdre.
All right, Gulfston, thank you. So by agreement, you gentlemen have agreed to have 1
Ready,
minute
28,
to
28 under.
answer these
Take
questions.
28.
And for our viewers at
Ready,
home,
63.
they will know that their minute is up
Take
because
63.
on the floor, which you cannot see, is a red light, green light system. So when the light is green,
Go ahead and
you're
key
free
A.
to talk. You'll see a yellow, which means start wrapping it up. When you get to red, you're supposed to be done talking, and if you get past that,
And
Lexi and I
lose.
will
Who's
find a
walking
nice
in front of
way
the
to try to
camera
start
there?
cutting
Oh, that's
you
pretty
off.
low.
So let's get to our first question.
Ready,
We did
62.
ask people all over California to submit questions.
And
we had well over 400 questions come in. We won't ask all of them, but no surprise. One of
Ready,
the top
29
things
under.
people want to talk about is something
Take
that affects
29.
every single person on the planet, everybody
Ready,
in this
63
room right
under.
now, and
And
that is coronavirus.
take.
So
62.
we'll talk about the pandemic and
Falconer's
vaccine
next.
mandates to start us off today.
And
so this week, the FDA gave full authorization
Still on the
to
two-shot on
Pfizer
63.
vaccine for those who are 16 and older. So now that it's no longer under the emergency use status authorization,
Ready, 62.
what is your position on
And
vaccine mandates,
Falconer
both
first.
in the private sector and in the public sector?
And
it is worth pointing out that all 4 of our candidates
Ready,
tonight
28.
are
Take
vaccinated.
28.
So we will, as
Ready,
Gulfston said,
62.
start with Kevin Falconer.
And take 62.
Thank you.
Single
I am
Deirdre.
vaccine. That vaccine, number one way
62,
that we can
63
get
split.
over COVID-19 is to have everyone get the vaccine.
Slightly looser
As I
on
said,
Deirdre.
My family's vaccinated, my wife, my kids.
Ready, 28
I think
under.
it's incredibly important,
Take.
particularly in this now that
Ready,
we're seeing
62
FDA
under.
approval, that we
Take.
continue to educate and educate the benefits of getting that vaccine. And that's something
28
that
four
I've been
shot.
strongly advocating for all of these many months, ever since obviously the vaccines came out. And I feel really strongly that our best opportunity is indeed to educate.
Split next.
We're not going to mandate our way out of COVID-19. While I was mayor of
Ready,
San Diego,
29
I really
actually.
stood up against the
No,
statewide
28.
mandates that we saw from Governor Newsom.
Take,
One
62.
size fits all policy.
Take.
We want everybody to be healthy. We want everybody to be safe.
62,
The
give me a
best way to
two-shot
do
of the
that
2 right
is to
candidates
educate
pushing
folks
into
to
him.
get that vaccine. And
Sorry,
that
no,
is the
hold
best way
62.
that we are
28,
all going to
28,
get over
two
this
shot of the
together
2 right
as
candidates.
Californians.
Up,
So to be
split.
clear,
Ready to
you're
split.
against mandates both in the
Take.
for the public and then
Hold
also
here.
the private sector as well. No mandates.
And our best opportunity, again, is to get everybody
61's on Falconer.
vaccinated. We're not going to do it
28
by
four
mandating.
shot.
You need to educate.
Ready,
Okay,
28.
next up is Kevin
And take
Paffrath, same
28.
question.
61
Thank you very
Paffrath.
much.
And take.
Albert Einstein
Pulse
once
through,
said,
actually.
the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results.
Key in.
The reality is,
Be better about their names here. Next 2
The
box
vaccine
is
is very
61,
important.
63.
however, Oxford University just told us last week that transmission still occurs in vaccinated individuals. Now, I encourage everyone to get vaccinated. My
28
family is
good.
vaccinated, but my
May or
3
may
and
not use
5-year-old
that.
are not because they can't yet get the vaccine. And
Loosen
we
on
need to do
Deirdre Little
something
on
different if
63.
We want to end this pandemic.
Thank you for losing. Ready,
We
29
need
under.
to also include an emphasis
Take.
on HEPA filtration in
61.
our schools. There's a reason our planes are still flying.
Take.
We don't need lockdowns to end this pandemic.
28.
What we need
Ready.
is proper education.
Take.
Like Mr. Faulkner has said. Potentially
Ready,
even
61.
incentives of
Take.
up to $250 for a new
28 4
vaccinated
shot.
adult. But if we still
Split
spread
next.
COVID from vaccinated individuals, we must also make sure we
61's
lessen
on
the burden
Cox.
on our hospitals
Sorry, no,
by ensuring that
no,
every building
sorry.
in our state
Look at the
has
wrong
a
thing.
proper
62's on
HEPA
Kylie.
filtration, and we use proper masking to end this pandemic.
Ready to split?
Okay, so I'm going to ask
Take.
the same follow-up question, just to be clear. No mandates, private sector or public sector.
Ready,
I
20.
do agree with mandates.
Ready, 61.
I agree with mandates.
Take 61.
at a
Split
local
then
level,
28.
though, not from the governor's office. I'm going to be very clear about this. I believe
And-
every individual business has the constitutional right, and every individual building has the right to determine their own mandate
split.
rules. That means every individual school, hospital
And-
can determine vaccine
Okay.
mandates
Take.
themselves.
Thank
28,
you.
ready
Kevin
it?
Kiley, your
Take
turn.
28.
Well, as I was
62.
watching
Kylie.
your station, KCRA,
Take 62.
before the debate started, I saw a commercial
Key A.
from Gavin Newsom against the recall, and he had this
Next
dire
split,
warning
62,
that
63.
if the recall succeeds, then these mandates are going to go away and COVID's going to spread, which was kind of an odd thing
Good,
to
28.
say because the mandates didn't exist until a week or two ago. We're the only state that has
John, any
them,
luck with the
and they
QR
haven't
code?
even
What's
gone
his
into
name?
effect yet. So it's clearly a campaign issue, and that's the way
You have
that
to
Gavin
lose the
Newsom has
banner?
treated COVID from the beginning. He's politicized.
We have to lose the banner
I'll give
to
you
get
a
it
very
in.
clear example of that.
Can
Last
we
year in
down-
October,
like, actually
when
put it
Newsom
in
thought it was
the
good
Viz?
politics, he cast doubt on the vaccine. He said that we couldn't take the FDA's word for whether it was safe. The chair of the United States Senate Health Committee had to write him a letter telling him to cut it out. He said
Perfect.
that Newsom was attacking
Ready,
the career
29.
scientists at the FDA, that he was discouraging Americans
And
from taking the vaccine,
take
and
28.
he was costing lives. And then when it came time to actually roll out the vaccine, we had the slowest rollout of any
62.
state. The governor didn't prioritize seniors,
Take.
and when they did
Split
become
next,
eligible,
62,
they spent all day
63.
on the phone trying to get an
can go
appointment
without.
and couldn't get one. It's been exactly the opposite of the way the
And
approach should have been.
Take.
John Cox.
61 Cox.
I agree with
Ready
Mr.
it?
Kiley.
61.
I won't call him Kevin because
Take.
we have too many Kevins here. But
28 4
listen,
shot.
The politicians will
Key A when you
politicize
can.
this, and that's what they've done. And I'm a businessman. I want to solve the problem.
28.
And mandates aren't going to solve the problem. I've been vaccinated. My family's been vaccinated. I believe in the vaccine. It comes
With
from
B
the
when you
private
get it all
sector.
set.
It's well tested, and I believe it's good.
Okay.
I'd like to see the vaccine approved not only for adults, but
Go
I'd
and
like
lose
to see
it. Ready,
approved for
28.
children as well. And I think
Take.
that's going to happen very soon. But I
Ready,
think
61.
the reticence of people to get vaccinated is all about the lack of trust in government.
Take.
And Gavin Newsom is
63, you're
exhibit
back on a
A
two-shot.
in that situation. This, not just his hypocritical dinner at the French Laundry, which demonstrated that he doesn't think the rules apply to him, but it's also the no-bid contracts, the no-bid contract of Blue Cross
Ready,
to
28.
botch up the vaccine distribution that Mr. Kiley referred to.
Take.
The
Ready,
raising
61.
of money for his wife's foundation.
62, you're on
from
Kiley.
PG&E,
Take.
which literally has killed people. This erodes trust. And
We'll
when
go
people don't have trust in their leadership,
29,
they don't
then
listen to the
63.
leaders when the leaders tell them that they should do something. I don't believe in mandates. I don't believe
Ready,
in mass
29,
mandates.
and-
I am not interested in having that. I believe in freedom. I believe in the Constitution that
Thank
guarantees
you,
us
Take.
John
freedom.
Cox. Appreciate it.
63.
Let's move on to the
Ready,
second
63.
viewer
Take
question
63.
regarding
Key A.
coronavirus.
Several of you have
61
expressed
Paffrath
opposition
next.
to mask mandates in schools, as well as other public health measures that Governor Newsom has
61 under.
adopted to combat the pandemic. Now that we're in the middle
Stand
of
by to
another
lose A.
surge, what steps would you take to slow the
Lose
spread of
A.
the virus moving forward? Kevin Paffrath,
61.
we'll start
Take
with you.
61.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
63,
Well, first and
Alexi.
foremost, we need better masks. Facial coverings are a failure.
Next two
Dr.
boxes is going to
Scott
be
Gottlieb
63,
tells us that
61.
facial coverings themselves are no better than 20 to 30% effective. The reality
28
is
under.
we need N95 masking. The CDC and government has failed us in providing
And-
science-based evidence
Pulse.
that we should
Pulse
not
array,
use
please.
these. If you go to the CDC's website right
Key
now,
in.
they say don't use N95s. They should be reserved for healthcare workers. I believe that is a mistake. And as governor, I will provide N95 respirators, these masks, to individuals who need them in our state who cannot
Lose.
afford them. I will make sure we have an appropriate supply of masks that are well fitted for our children and the people of our state. So
Ready,
with
28.
proper ventilation,
Take.
we can actually
61.
end COVID. And again, I'm for
Take.
vaccination.
Two
But
bucks.
what you just heard
63,
from the other
61.
three candidates on the stage,
Ready,
and what you
28,
hear from
9.
the other candidates who are too afraid to
28.
be here
Take
tonight
28.
to stand in front of the California people.
Ready, 61. Take.
is nothing about
29.
ventilation
Ready
and
it?
new ideas.
Take.
It's more of the
61.
same, and that's why we're failing with COVID.
Take.
I will
Split.
change that as governor.
Ready the split? Take the
Thank
split.
you very much, Kevin. Kylie, what
62
steps would you
Kylie.
take?
Ready 62.
I would
Take.
follow the approach that other states
Key
have
in.
taken, which is to have a balanced approach and to place trust in citizens. And when you
Next
look at the
split,
issue of
63,
masks, we're
62.
in the minority of states that
61's
have
on
a statewide
Cox.
mandate. And you look at other countries like the United Kingdom, they've said we're not going to do masks for elementary school students, or we're not going to require it because the harms to a child's development far outweigh
28. Give me
any benefits,
Cox
those
and
benefits aren't
the
even
two
very
middles.
clearly established. And it's
Lose
almost
the key?
certainly the case
Yeah.
that the effect on a child of wearing a mask all day
A touch
varies
looser
a
on
lot
that?
from child to child, which is why this should be
Touch
this
looser
decision
still
should
and have
be
you a
in the
little
hands
push
of
in.
parents.
Ready,
But we need to, we're talking
29.
about mask light right now, but let's not forget the fact that California
And
shut down its schools
take.
longer than any
62.
other state in the country.
Take.
We were 50th out of 50 in getting our kids back
Split
to school.
next.
Was that because that was the safe thing to do? No, Gavin Newsom knew it wasn't the safer thing to do. He sent his own kids to in-person private school. It was rather that we have a special interest in this state, the teachers unions, that gives more money to political office holders than any other group and has given more money to Gavin Newsom than anyone. And so
Ready to
that's
split.
why I think there's a level of distrust that exists
And
in a lot of what the government is doing, because clearly neither public health nor the interests of our kids has been guiding policymaking.
Take.
So you've spoken for the past minute about something you're opposed to, which is mask mandates. But what steps
62.
would you take moving forward to slow the spread of the virus?
I would rebuild the trust that
Take.
Gavin Newsom has lost through the steps
Split,
I've just outlined.
then
the way that he's
28, then
politicized the
Cox.
vaccine, the way he's politicized things like masks, the way that he shut down our schools for no good reason. I would say I'm going to start serving the people of California. I think when we rebuild that
Ready to
trust,
split.
people are more than able to take the
And
measures they need
Thank
to
you.
protect
Take.
themselves.
Thank you very
28, ready
much.
28.
John Cox,
Take
what steps
28.
would you take?
Well,
61.
I agree with rebuilding the trust.
Take.
People
Key
should
A.
trust in the vaccine. They
Hold that shot,
don't
28.
because They don't trust Gavin Newsom. They don't trust
62's
the
on Falconer.
politicians. And you know, we need to be honest with people about this disease. This is an awful disease. I got it early on. The Chinese should certainly be held accountable for failure to warn us about it, as well as possibly of developing it themselves. But we have to deal with it, and that's the problem. See, the politicians never consider the costs of any
And
activity they engender. They whipped up
Thank
a
you.
whole lot of fear among people.
28
And
shot.
certainly, this disease is
And
certainly not a great disease.
hold.
But it's 99.9% survivable.
Take. 61.
Certainly, we should protect the vulnerable. Certainly, we should protect people with
Take.
pre-existing conditions. But what we should do is
29.
be honest with people. This disease has
28
animal
gave me a
reservoirs.
two-shot of the two left.
Smallpox didn't. We're not going to get rid of this
No, other
disease.
side.
So we've got to encourage people to trust the vaccine.
Take
get the
29.
vaccine,
Ready,
so if
28.
they do get the disease, it's
Now,
not gonna
ready,
be as serious.
61.
And that's the
Take
best
61.
That's the best we can
So
hope
are
for.
there any specific
Split next if you can.
steps that you had in mind
Take.
beyond rebuilding trust with the public?
Hold
Again,
here.
I look at the costs. You know, we can eliminate all
Take it
highway
full.
deaths if we all drove at 10 miles an hour. Well, we're not about to do that.
28 shot.
Governor Newsom shut
We'll go
down small businesses. He
split, then
shut our
61.
kids out of school. Places like
Sorry,
Florida
split,
kept their
then
businesses
28,
open. Disney
then
World
62.
was open in July.
Thank you.
Disneyland just
And
opened in April.
take.
So, you know, the destruction of
Thank
small
you very
business, the
much.
destruction to our
Eh,
children's
where's his
psyche
mic?
is also
Leave his
serious,
mic
too.
up.
Thank you
And
for your answer.
ready, 28.
Kevin
Take
Faulconer, are
28.
there any steps that you would take moving forward? to slow the
62
spread of the
next.
virus?
I think the most important
Take.
thing is to let our
Key in.
local school districts working with parents
Okay, 63's back on
make
a
the right
two-shot.
decisions based upon the facts of the ground in that community. I think one of the things that you've heard very clearly is that Gavin Newsom always, his first step is to say, let's have a statewide mandate. Our state's very big, it's very diverse. That's the wrong approach. Again, we need to have parents, school district members
Lose
working
key.
together.
Ready, 29.
But I'll tell you,
28
our
go. Give me a
schools
semi-tight
should have
shot,
been
just
open
Kevin.
this past semester.
Ready, 20.
The
Good
fact
there.
that this governor
9.
shut down our schools for as long as he did.
Take 29.
When I kicked off
Ready,
a
28.
campaign in Los Angeles in front of a closed public school, and
Take.
right across the street was an open
Ready,
private
29,
school.
then 62.
Teachers were safely teaching and kids were
And
safely learning.
take.
Why?
Ready, 62.
Because that school reported to parents.
Take.
But yet the public
Going to
school
question 3 next.
where I was at would ultimately report
28
that Gavin
four-shot.
Newsom was closed. My daughter should have been in school this past semester, just like everybody else's kids across California.
28
in the
next.
classroom, safely learning, with great teachers doing it. Zoom was no substitute. We had a governor that didn't understand that. We're still dealing with those consequences now.
61's already on Cox.
Thank you.
Take
And just
28.
quickly again, are
Ready,
there any
63.
specific steps
Oh, no,
that
no,
you
no.
would
Ready,
take to
62.
slow the spread of the virus in California?
Take.
All the great steps that we have seen. We have seen our local districts with our great teachers working with our parents in terms of social distancing, in terms of
I'll go
all the
28
hygiene
and
things that you have
63.
to do. Make those decisions locally, not again a statewide
And
mandate coming from the governor to
Take.
shut our schools
63.
down.
Ready
Thank
it.
you very much.